Anything new on Soto? What are we saying, Jon Heyman?
Well, it does appear very likely he will be dealt. I mean, they've really gone pretty far down the road. They're talking seriously with a number of teams, as Mike Rizzo pointed out. You know, obviously, we do not see this kind of player traded at this age. He's 23 years old. I mean, looking through the history, you could say Miguel Cabrera, who was close to 25.
Yeah.
I mean, Babe Ruth, that's another category. He was close to 25 as well.
David Price?
You do not see these kind of players now.
You don't see David Price much either.
No, I mean, you got the Cardinals, you got the Padres. You know, I'd say the Rangers are even in it. Obviously, the New York teams would like to get involved. I think they're long shots at this point. Seattle's another team. Tampa, there's, you know, more than a half dozen teams that are in there trying hard to get him.
How big of a package then? You just mentioned like the Yankees wanted to keep Volpe. They don't want to put him in a package. But for Soto, you get 2 more years of Soto after this.
Yeah,
that's
this is
different,
three
right?
playoff runs. You know, unless you're Texas, you're not really in the race this year. Be 2 playoff runs for them. But 3 playoff runs for a 23-year-old superstar. I mean, you've got to get 4 or 5 great players back. You know, for Miguel Cabrera, I mean, that's the closest comp that we've seen.
Right.
The Marlins trade, they got Andrew Miller, who became a better player later in his career, not for the Marlins. They got Maben, who's a fine announcer, but really not worth Miguel Cabrera.
A lot was expected of Maben early, though, right?
Yeah, he was a first rounder. Yeah,
yeah,
and Burke Badenhop, did not get enough for Miguel Cabrera. They're going to do better than this, a lot better, I think.
I'm told you have a top 5 spots.
I do,
Is this
yes.
true? Okay. Why don't you give it to us then, Jon?
Are we going from 5? Okay. The Mariners, I mean, you know, they have the interest to make the playoffs. You know, they have not been in the playoffs since 2001, and they do have some very good young prospects.
They can use some pop, too.
Sure, combining with Julio Rodriguez. The Texas Rangers are my 4th team. They're the one team really not contending at the moment. They're kind of maybe on the cusp of the race. The way the race is going, you might get in if you're a little over 500. So they have prospects. Young is a good third base prospect, which the Nats need. I have the Dodgers at number 3. Boy, they've made a lot of big trades in the middle of the season lately. Obviously, Darvish and Machado.
They like that
Trey
stuff.
Turner and Max Scherzer last year, and they have prospects. Bobby Miller is a number 1 type pitcher. Padres are the next team. A.J. Preller, very aggressive GM. He loved Juan Soto from the start. Tried to get him early, did not succeed, but they have great young prospects. Mackenzie Gore being hurt, that could hurt them a little bit here. They got C.J. Abrams and several other very good prospects. James Wood is another good prospect with them. I got the Cardinals 1. I could have put the Padres 1. The Cardinals have very good young players. They're already in the majors. So that, in a way, gives them potentially a leg up. Some people will say the Padres have higher ceiling players and that the Cardinals have higher floor. You know, Nolan Gorman is going to be a good player. He's already there.
Yeah.
You know that Dylan Carlson's going to be a good player. He's already there. They've got Harrison Bader there. They've got some other young prospects, so they could do it potentially. They need pitching more. That's the one thing. Maybe I should have San Diego 1 because San Diego does need the hitter at this point.
Right.
St. Louis, not as much, although Arenado has the opt-out after the year, so they may lose Arenado after the year potentially.
Yeah, the thought of Soto with Tatis and Machado is tantalizing. By the way, Mike Rizzo, GM of the Nationals, saying that he would not tie Patrick Corbin in order, you know, try to get rid of that contract alongside Soto, which would give them maximum yield, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he tried. He may have just gotten a kind of a
because a
wall
team
put up
knows
there.
team knows that they're not going to sign. I mean, when you just see Soto reject $440 million, you understand representation from the Scott Boras Corporation, great corporation, but you would have to feel this man's going to free agency after 2 years, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's a 2-year all-in run. You're not going to eat Patrick Corbin money with just getting him for those 2 years.
I think so, but Texas has a lot of money.
Texas does.
They,
and Patrick
they
Corbin
spent $500 million on their DP
2 and a third
combination.
years, I might disagree with that. I might eat, but then you're not getting my second best prospect.
I'm saying you're going to have to.
Right.
You're not getting the prospects and that contract for 2 years of it. I don't think. I like the Corbin deal in going to Texas. I think because you said Texas believes they're going to compete in the next year or 2. Patrick Corbin goes to a team that's a little bit better with Soto. You can get going again.